Michael Packard was diving for lobsters when all of a sudden he felt a big push before everything went dark. As he felt his way around, he realized he was in the mouth of a whale. Welcome to Survivor Archives. Now, I'm going to be honest, when I first came across this story, I thought it was a hoax. But as crazy as it sounds, this really happened. Michael Packard is a 57-year-old man married to Julie and father to two teenage boys who are 12 and 15. They live in Provincetown, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, which is off the Atlantic Ocean. His wife Julie describes Michael as an incredible man who she cannot live without. The Provincetown native has a degree in marine technology and fisheries and worked as a commercial fisherman. His current profession is a commercial lobster diver who lives in Wellfleet and owns his own vessel named Jan J. Michael didn't have the best start in life. His father walked out on the family when he was only 10 years old, and within the same year, his 18-year-old brother went missing when he went out for a hike and was never found. Michael's mother raised him and his three sisters by herself and is actually a successful artist who started out painting to make some extra money. By default, Michael became the patriarch of the family and has an immense amount of love and respect from his family. Michael is actually renowned as one of the most successful fishermen in Cape Cod. His friends describe him as having lived a very unique and dangerous life, who is very well liked by his local community. Michael's technique for lobster fishing is different to what you would expect. Typically, fishermen would set up wire traps submerged on the ocean bottom, which are attached to ropes and marked by buoys on the surface. Then you would go to haul your trap every 2 or 3 days. However, Michael prefers to dive and chase lobsters, grabbing them by hand. The scary part about this is these types of waters in Cape Cod are known to have quite a few great white sharks searching for their next meal. Now, Michael is not as fearless as you may think because he himself admits to feeling terrified when he spots a great white shark, and he makes every effort to seem as inconspicuous as possible to avoid any type of interaction. But to Michael, this is his passion in life. He has been swimming in Cape Cod since he was 12 years old, and the fact that he was able to make a career out of this makes him feel very blessed. On June 11th, 2021, Michael kissed his wife goodbye and journeyed 20 minutes out to sea, put on his scuba gear in preparation for the first dive of the day. At 8 a.m., he entered the water again for his third dive, and as he almost got to the bottom of the ocean floor, he was suddenly hit by something he likened to a freight train. Michael explains that all of a sudden everything went dark, and he was swimming around trying to figure out where he was. He initially thought he was inside a great white shark, but he couldn't see any teeth, and he wasn't hurt badly enough, and then it dawned on him that he had been swallowed by a whale. The whale was moving through the water so fast, and Michael could feel all the water gushing inside. In fact, the force of the water dislodged the regulator from Michael's mouth, but luckily it had been lodged between the inside of the whale's mouth and him, so he grabbed it and quickly put it back in. Then it dawned on him that he would be leaving his wife and boys behind, and he had to do everything he could to survive and get back to them. So there he was, decked out in his scuba gear inside a whale. He could feel the whale squeezing the muscles in his mouth, almost crushing his legs, so he kept trying to move around to avoid it, thinking he could possibly ready himself to swim out. But the force of the water that kept coming in and the muscles in the whale's mouth made that impossible. The only way he would be getting out of it is if the whale let him out. It was in that moment that Michael thought, there's no way I'm getting out of here. I'm done. I'm dead. So he kneeled down, and whilst assured that he still had a full tank of air, he had no idea how long he would be in there and feared he would run out. Suddenly, Michael could see some light, which meant the whale was closer to the surface, and it began thrashing around violently. He realized the whale was not happy about having him in his mouth, but all Michael could do was hang on and wait to see what the whale's next move would be. His friend Josiah, who had no idea what was going on, noticed a big commotion in the water and saw that there was a whale splashing its fin and jerking its body around near the surface. Then, all of a sudden, he saw Michael come out of the water upside down. Josiah explains that Michael cleared the water from the force of the whale spitting him out. Michael's first thought was that he could not believe he escaped, and then he proceeded to scream in pain and relief. Josiah and a nearby charter boat rushed over to help Michael out of the water. Joe, one of Michael's neighbors, was on the nearby charter boat and was the first face he saw. As Joe was reaching down to get Michael out of the water, Michael recalls looking up at him and saying, "Joe, I was just in a whale's mouth." Can you believe it? When Michael was lying down on the deck of the boat, he began to cry profusely, grateful he would not be leaving his kids, his mother and wife and all those he loved behind. After a short stay in the hospital, Michael managed to get away from this crazy ordeal with only some ligament damage to his leg. This survival story is something else. But when I was looking further into Michael's life, I was absolutely shocked to discover that this was not his only close call with death. When he was 12 years old, his boat drifted out 30 kilometers in the sea and he almost drowned. And in 2001, he survived 2 days in a Costa Rican jungle after he survived a deadly plane crash. Michael has been quoted as saying he has a guardian angel that works overtime. For that, he can be sure of. The great thing about this story is the humor him and his family have found in this. His mother laughed, saying he was swallowed by a whale and spat out because he was not tasty. The Facebook community, which is where this story was first discovered, has dubbed him the Jonah of Wellfleet and making comments that the new Jonah just dropped. I mean, for those skeptics out there regarding the validity of the story of Jonah, this may make you reconsider. Today, Michael is back out in the water, catching lobsters by hand, injured leg and all, happily doing exactly what he loves. If you would like to continue hearing some amazing survival stories, please ensure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you like, comment, and follow.